In this video, we'll discuss the mole and how to use the mole to convert between particles, grams, and moles. The mole is just a word. It represents a number, like a dozen represents 12, pair represents 2, the mole represents 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. We call this Avogadro's number, and we use it to count particles. And a particle is just a small piece of matter like atoms, compounds. You could say formula units or molecules as well. You could say protons, neutrons, electrons. And if you have a mole of an element, we can determine the mass of that mole by looking at the periodic table. We call that the molar mass. So if you have 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd atoms of hydrogen, the mass would be 1.0078 grams. If you have a compound, you use the atomic mass the same way, but you have to keep in mind that there might be more than one of each element. Water, for example. Water has 2 hydrogens, 1 oxygen. So the mass of 2 hydrogens is double the atomic mass. And then oxygen is 15.999. So you have 2.0156 plus 15.999. Add those together, that gives you the molar mass of water, which is 18.0146 grams. Now, if you want to do conversions, if you want to convert between particles and moles or grams, you'll need conversion factors. So the conversion factor for converting between moles and particles is Avogadro's number. If you want to convert between moles and mass, you use molar mass. If you want to convert between moles and the volume of a gas, you would use 22.4 liters. So any gas at standard temperature and pressure will occupy 22.4 liters. When doing mole conversions, you use dimensional analysis, and we know our conversion factors, so you have to look at what's given, and in this case we have 1.20 times 10 to the 24 atoms. That's a type of particle. An atom is a particle. And then what's unknown, which is moles. So we're converting from particles to moles. And our conversion factor between particles and moles is Avogadro's number. So we look at our two options here. We have molar mass and we have Avogadro's number. So we'll choose Avogadro's number. If we have atoms on top, we need atoms on bottom, so we can cancel those units. We're solving for moles, so you would go 1.20 times 10 to the 24th and divide that by Avogadro's number, and that would give you 1.99 moles of copper. If we're converting between moles and grams, we would use molar mass. So we have our two options here. We have Avogadro's number, and then we have molar mass. And since this is just a simple one-step equation, it takes one conversion factor, grams on top, grams on bottom. Our unit is moles, that's what we're looking for. We're going from grams to moles, so we're solving for moles. 96.0 divided by 32.065 equals 2.99 moles of sulfur.